The daily design show where we try to become better designers by me finding a cool piece of design online, and then we break it down and we review it and we try to learn from it. And we do this by looking at the three big ifs or the three big themes. What is good about this? What should we take away to our designs and think about when we're doing stuff? What's bad about this? What could be better? And what should we try to avoid in our designs? And the most important, does this work for the end user? So today we're looking at Aviran Abadi. Sorry, Aviran, I can't pronounce that, but King Calculator on X. Love that. He's made this really interesting thing using V0 and ShadCN's UI library. And this is, I know a lot of design people are getting really bored with ShadCN's UI library because everyone is just using the default theme. So it looks the same everywhere. It's sort of becoming like the Material UI was like 10 years ago when it was everywhere and everything looked the same. But it is a very useful library, and we're not going to judge that. We're just going to think about the fact that Aviran generated this. So this isn't so much designed as just sort of spat out of a prompt into an AI. So this is really freaking interesting because I suspect we can see a lot more stuff like this, and we can definitely learn how to do this. So he says that he got this with minimal tweaking, and it's a Command K box. So it's a dialog. You press Command K, and you get the search dialog with a paginated infinite loading of things, which is pretty damn cool. All right, so let's have a look. And first off, let's just get a feel for it. Yep, okay. So, what is good about this? There's a lot good about this. So, ShadCN's UI library is a very good default library. So, there's a reason why everyone uses it. So, pretty much everything is just right off the bat, right? So, the visual hierarchy is great, the contrast is great, the typography is really, really nice. The paddings and margins and everything work really well. It's also quite accessible, so it's really nice in all sorts of ways. It has no color, but it has an excellent palette of grayscale, and just the use of icons and everything. It just looks awesome. So let's just stop it here and just go through some of the things that makes it good. Let's see if we can get a clear frame from the video. Here we go. Okay, so some things. First off, this box up here looks just perfectly centered. Everything just looks really, really nice. If we check out these paddings over here, we have something like a 15, 16 on this side. Yeah, 15-ish. I'm doing this visually, so I can't know if that's accurate, right? But, and up here we have something like a 20, probably. And down here we again have something like 20, and on this side we have something like 20 again. So this icon, actually both of these icons are probably put 15 pixels away from the edge, but then the icon shapes themselves fill the components differently so that they get slightly different visual balancing. They're also, if you can tell, I don't know if you can, this one is like a medium gray. This one is also grayed out, but less so. So this is a little stronger than this one because this is an active icon, meaning the user here has started to type. So there's something you should be able to cancel. So this pops up on the screen. So it's a little stronger than just the placeholder indicator. Very cool. And down here, we can also see that these icons are black with detail. No, I think the detail is black as well. I think this is just an artifact of video compression. So these icons are black. The text is black. And here we again can see like some really, really nice padding. We have something like zoomed in. What am I doing? We have something like a 20 here again, and then between the icon and the text, we have something like a 10. The rows themselves are probably similar to the input box. They're probably something like a 50, but the text is probably an 18. And so we have like plenty of white space in the box, as we can see with this shaded one. Interestingly, look at this. This is actually a little weirdness in the padding. So the outer frame has some padding, and then the select button also has some padding. It's actually quite interesting. The font in the options is a sans serif. The font in the numbers is a monospaced font space. So you get like, because it's numbers, it looks like tabular data. I kind of love this touch in Shadcn because it does look like it's made for like really high data UIs. It's just very, very nice. Love these little boxes here for the shortcut, keyboard shortcuts. And also really love this super, super slick scroll bar, which is not as thick as they usually are. I think you can see mine on the right-hand side of the screen now. And the built-in scroll bar is just quite thick and bulky. It doesn't need to be in such a small element on screen. So I'm very glad that it's just almost like a 1 pixel width. No, it's not. There is a bit of a rounding, so it's probably like 2 or 3 pixels width. 3, of course, because it can be rounded with 2 pixels. Anyway, so all of that is very interesting. The hover is actually not a gray, but it's a gray with a dash of blue. So it gives you a tiny bit more contrast and a tiny bit more interest for the eye. There's also this loading bar. Let's see it. There we go. Ooh, there we go. The loading bar that pops up just looks like it comes up like a scroll to refresh loader almost. But it is a loading bar. So there's a progress bar being like scrolled up, and you can see it fill, and then you have the full load happening, which is pretty cool. And yeah, there's a very, very slick drop shadow around this. Also the scroll window, like there's a head, a content, and a foot to this modal, which makes a lot of sense, and it's very slick and sleek. Just in general, this is like really well polished design. It's really thought through. All of the details are there. It's like really, really well made, but it's generated, which is the craziest thing. So if this is the new default benchmark of like, if your design is not as good as Shadcn's UI, then why are we using your design? We could just generate it. If that is that's the new benchmark to hit. That's going to mean the quality of the internet will definitely improve, and I'm all for it. That's just going to be freaking awesome. I love this. So when you start typing, it also selects all of the text that looks the same. In this case, it's numbers, and it selects cross number spacings. So this is probably has a value without the spacings, and then it has a display with spacings, which is also a really, really nice detail. It's basically fuzzy search. It's not actually fuzzy search, but it's basically a way to pretend like you have fuzzy search, and it helps the user tremendously. I wonder if you could do this, if you could also type into dash. No clue. Anyway, yeah, this is so the good about this is a lot to say about the good about this. The bad about this, well, like I said, so the library itself is really well made. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm gonna do something better than Shadcn has been doing here. But what I can say is that there is a negative to all libraries, and that is the fact that you do end up with things that just look the same. And if we head over here to the content library, you can see that there's a ton of stuff that is absolutely beautifully made, and it's very consistent and it's very nice. But you don't have to stick with the defaults. You can actually customize it. So this is the default, just the very, very, very basic default changes that you can do. You can just change the colors, and you can change the roundings, and you can change the radii, and you can change if it's dark or light or whatever. But each one of these components is also available to you as a developer, so you can just use these components as the basics, and then you can change them according to whatever makes sense for you. So for all of these projects you see that use the same thing, that is boring. That is going eventually to become, it's going to feel very dated pretty soon, but there's no reason for it. You can just style the component and it will uh, change all of the components in your entire thing. So this is a great library to start from. There's no reason to feel like you're trapped in this. So that's the only bad thing that I'm going to say, that all libraries share this problem, but with this library in particular, since I've used it, I know a little bit about it, you're not locked in. You can change most of the things pretty easily because you're installing the component into your project and then you can just update the component. All right, so that's it for today. Oh, no, wait, I should go back and say the most important thing, of course, does this work for the end user? Normally, I kind of skip over this part if it's something that is a design exploration, and this is a design exploration. But in this case, it makes sense anyway because it's a full component, so it could fit into all sorts of designs and products. And in this case, like, yes, this will totally work. It looks awesome. It has a really good functionality. And for specific context, it makes a lot of sense and it would be very useful. So yeah, thank you. Really good work. And as usual, thanks, Shad You don't need thanks, you heard it before, but thank you anyway, because it's the content library is really helping a lot of designers and a lot of developers make the internet a little bit better. That's it for today. Thank you very much. Talk to you next time.